Hardhat's all about showing up to play hard, doing what it takes to win.
If you want to cement legacy, win another.
He's your third center.
You don't want to pump him up too much, but it's hard not to.
This is maybe the most I've ever agreed with you.
What's up, everyone? This is Noah Dalzell, and I'm here with Bobby Manning after a very good Celtics win, 125-105 over the Cleveland Cavaliers. I feel like this was one of those wins where if later on they're having a good year, we're going to go back and say this is kind of where it started. We want to go over a couple quick takeaways from this one. My biggest takeaway, Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, Jaylen was great. He continues to be efficient. He's playing every night, too, which is important through the injury here. Saw him stretching out a little bit on the sideline, but he went from questionable in the night to probable, which is a step in the right direction. We're 2 weeks removed from the injury now, and the efficiency is just extraordinary right now. Started 11 of 17 from this one, I believe 4 of 8 from 3. The three-point percentage is well above 40 at this point. The field goal percentage up close to 53 now. So he's picked his spots at times early in the schedule, trying to get other guys involved. We heard him weigh, all right, like how much do you have to go off and look for your shot with this team versus try to build up some other guys. And he said, I'll have to try to strike that balance as the year goes on. He gets the 41-point game against Detroit, which probably should have delivered a win. And then strong efforts in New Orleans as well as here tonight as well. So his consistency atop their scoring dynamic, their offense has been super important, and obviously the field goal percentage allowed on defense too has been in the 30s. So he's given you everything you could ask for from him. Only one bad game against the Knicks, and this is all through an injury.
Yeah, and I think there's two things that stand out to me. One, there was a lot of discourse around, is this guy going to make like a massive leap and try to do too much and be an MVP candidate? And I don't think that was, I think it was pretty clear heading into camp that was not really the feel around how he was approaching the season. And Joe Mazzulla had a pretty definitive quote today when Jack Simone asked him about Jaylen taking on a bigger role, and he said it's not even necessarily that he's taking on a bigger role or more pressure. He just wants to do what it takes.
That's not how he looks at it.
To win. That's not how he's looking at it. And I think right now you see him really relishing the opportunity to be a leader for this team. He's talked extensively about how it's a learning curve, it's going to be a process, it's going to take time, but he is enjoying that experience of helping the new guys, the younger guys, get acclimated to a pretty complex system. But at the same time, he has been your primary scorer and also one of your top defenders on this roster. And so if they're 3-2 right now, 4-1, we'd be talking about like, wow, what a great Jaylen Brown start. He really wasn't their problem in the first few games, and now we're seeing his strong play correlate to winning. So he's going to have to keep it up. Obviously, the three-point shooting to me is what stands out most because he had a pretty terrible shooting season last year for his standards, 32% from 3, and now he's shooting around 50% throughout the first 5 games. So we'll see how much of that is sustainable. It's early days, but a very good start to the season for somebody who did injure his hamstring when the preseason closed 2 weeks ago today. The other guy that I think we're all thinking about and we're all talking about today is Josh Minott, who I know you were very excited about.
They found their starter. That's where I'll go with this one. I thought they'd keep tinkering with things. I thought we'd continue to see them mix and match lineups here, but he's given them what they need. Weak side rim protection next to Keita. That duo, despite not having a ton of shooting between them, has been extraordinary, and it makes sense because you don't think of Minott as a center, but he kind of plays that role in many ways. Rebounding, screening, a little bit of shooting in the corners, but he's mostly playing a center's role out there next to Keita in different areas of the court. He's pushing the ball. He's giving ball pressure, so that relieves White, Brown, as well as Pritchard a little bit out there. The rebounding issue almost instantly disappeared the moment he entered the starting lineup here. And 10 rebounds a game for him, more than 10 points a game through these 2 starts.
He's a prolific rebounder.
Oh, it's outstanding.
He was saying post-game that it's like luck, like he's just kind of trying to be in bounds and like pray to God that he's going to get the board. But he has a feel for getting the ball and a motor that is, you either have it or you don't, and he has it. So that's going to continue to be a strength for him.
And invest in him. Now, the shooting's the question here. It's at 33 for the season, I believe. I know you have confidence it could get up to 35, 36. I'll actually live with 33 again for a 4 center-ish guy. I think that's good enough, but they're going to have to get out on the open floor as they did tonight, play with pace, offensive rebound, because I don't think shooting's going to be their forte, and that does bring us to our final takeaway is even though the shooting improved a little bit for Pritchard in this one and the team as a whole, they're still only 35% over the last 2 games here, which isn't what we're quite used to with this group. And for Pritchard, what is it, 15% for the season?
Something like that. I don't have the numbers from today, but he has not found any
20.
rhythm from beyond the arc.
Yeah.
And yet I think he's done everything else. So
10 assists.
It'll be interesting. 10 assists tonight. A couple games ago, he was the team's leading rebounder. I think he's been extremely effective, in the 2-point range. If you look at his numbers in the paint around the basket, like he has really picked the spots well. The question is there anything more to the 3-point struggles beyond just he's had a bad week of shooting? Because literally the season's been a week long, right? So that's the question.
I've seen 3 things. Maybe a little more defensive attention, obviously going from the role we played last year to this one. The rushing on a few shots I've seen, as well as something Joe actually acknowledged today, which I was surprised, is that this pace, this energy they're playing with and how demanding that is, could actually be forcing some guys to get their legs under them coming out of an intense training camp and getting used to playing the style that they're playing right now. If that's the explanation for him, great. And I think he will adapt to that over time. I'm actually glad to hear someone pitch a theory on what that might be. Now, we didn't hear from him today, but I know you spoke to him in Detroit, and he was super adamant about him being able to turn it around.
And the biggest thing that he said to me in Detroit was when I asked him, he's like, you see the shots that I'm missing. Like, they're open shots, And so that's how he feels. He also talked about how he's just overthinking things right now. And I think both him and Derek and Sam, all 3 great shooters that go through streaks where you can visibly see that they're in their own heads, which is not uncommon for elite shooters.
Now,
but
let me say this before we wrap, because I haven't liked the idea of starting Simons. I think Pritchard has earned that role. But if they want to tinker with some things there and this lull continues for Pritchard, I don't think it's the worst idea in the world to return Pritchard to the role he thrived in last year and put Simons in a role where he's been throughout the last handful of years in his career. I'm not there yet, but I'll listen to anyone who thinks that's a good idea, including Jimmy on the show, who thought that might work out there. I know you're not for that.
I'm not. I honestly think he was great as 6th man. And one of the things when I spoke to him over the summer and I asked him about the starting thing, he said it's going to change a lot. It's not a big deal. Nobody's overly concerned about it. I think that's true to how they feel. So I think if he got moved to the bench, it wouldn't be like devastating blow for Payton Pritchard that he's being relegated. But I just don't see anything from just watching him play right now. I just think he's been a great fit in this lineup. Like him, Derek, and Jaylen have been a great trio together. It's simply that he's been struggling from the outside. And so if I start to see other bigger problems, then you'd say, okay, is there things that would accentuate his strengths more? But I don't think moving him to the bench would mean that his shooting slump is over. That's just where I'm at.
I'll only counter then. This is what I gave everyone who wanted to see Pritchard off the bench. Lineup balance. Like the bench has struggled. The starters have been great. If you stagger those a little bit, do you get more even production out of both of them?
Yeah.
It's worth considering, especially if the struggles continue here. But it's too soon. We're a week into the year. I do think, obviously, he's going to come back to his level. As the team, I mean, the first 2-3 games, they were 27th in 3-point shooting, which is just crazy for this group.
That was never going to hold. But Celtics do come away with a big win against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't think many people projected that this was going to be the outcome tonight, and they win by 20. So massive win for them. They improved to 2-3 on the season. We'll be in Philadelphia with more coverage, with Celtics hope to avenge their opening night loss.
NBA Cup night. They need this one.
Oh, is it the Cup? I didn't even realize. They'll look to become a 500 team too, which is weird to say, but would be a good place after their tough starts. That's it for us for now.